electricity running through this arena. This is going to be some battle. One-on-one, mano-a-mano.
These guys are undoubtedly going to give us a show here tonight.
And I can't help but wonder how the champ's game plan differs, if at all, knowing that the title is not on the line here tonight.
Plenty of force behind that knee. Montez forward with a strategically placed shot. He's looking a little wobbly here, guys.
Michael, his legs look like they're about to give out on him.
He's starting to show signs of fatigue. This could be the start of an ugly downward spiral if he's not careful. Drop kick! Great athleticism.
Believe it or not, guys, this superstar wasn't overly pleased with this past week's rankings. You know what? I tend to agree. Who's voting on this stuff anyway?
Knee drop.
That was nasty. So precise.
Here's Kyle O'Reilly into the quick cover.
Well, while I disagree with Corey's assessment of this week's rankings, I do support his right to an opinion. And you too can voice your opinion on this week's rankings by using hashtag WWE Power Rankings on social media.
And I'm seeing a lot of varying opinions, which is great. Though, interestingly enough, I don't see any that agree with what Corey was saying. Go figure.
He's lining him up.
He's looking shaky. This could be the end.
This can go a variety of different ways, Corey.
And almost none of them are good.
The rankings are out, guys, and this superstar has to be happy about what the polls revealed this week. And look at the quickness by Montez Ford.
Wisely bringing the action back into the ring.
O'Reilly just barely getting out of the way.
Well, many are clearly happy with this week's power rankings, as Byron was saying. I can tell you that there were many superstars in the locker room earlier today who were none too pleased.
Well, there's only one way to fix that, and that's to go out there and win. There's no use walking around with a boo-boo face. That'll get you nowhere.
Oh, and he breaks free.
But the damage might have already been done, Michael. O'Reilly just barely getting out of the way. Guys, some are saying this superstar has begun showing a bit of arrogance since the latest weekly rankings were released. But the way I see it, that's just confidence.
He's struggling a bit here. Guys, this is where we find out what he's made of.
He's really starting to look fatigued here, guys, and when that happens, your whole body starts to give out on you. He's going to need to be careful here.
Montez Ford with the early cover.
There certainly is a fine line between arrogance and confidence, as Byron was saying, but whatever it is, I have no problem with it. This superstar has been on an absolute roll as of late.
And who really cares if somebody's being arrogant? As the old saying goes, if you got it, flaunt it, and this superstar certainly has it. Great job escaping, trying to turn this thing around.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
It's always nice when you see a superstar who's clearly been putting the work in get recognized with an impressive spot in the weekly rankings as this
and he breaks free.
Just when you thought he was out of this one.
Twice as nice. Kyle O'Reilly setting it up.
Uh-oh. Well, Michael, while the rankings this past week certainly were impressive, I can only imagine the heights this superstar can climb to.
Come on, they're only numbers, guys. Don't get too caught up in them. What really counts is what happens after the opening bell.
I don't like the look in his eye here, folks. And here's Montez Ford. Just carrying the opposition here.
But you can't carry your opponent all day. You gotta make a move eventually.
He thinks he has it. Montez Ford quickly getting the shoulder up.
It's too early for that. Uh-oh, pump handle applied. What's coming next?
Shockwave sent down the spine.
He hits the big knee. It's obvious Montez Ford is feeling the pain that has been dealt out so far.
I have a feeling this isn't going to end well for him.
And he fights his way free.
He's got to be working on instinct right now, Cole.
When this guy's on, look out.
Isolating the arm. He's not going to go quietly.
No superstar worth his salt ever does.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
There's been a lot of talk about this superstar's latest spot in the power rankings, but if you ask me, those things are overblown.
The pain's too great. They tapped out. That's the match.
Corey, that's a rough loss.
Of course it is. Every loss is a rough one, but from the looks on their faces, this one could be a little worse than those in the past.
And look at, looks like there's some tension here.
Oh, there's a shove. Come on now, this thing.
That's gonna blow up at some point. Just a matter of time, I think.
I think you're right.